Hi everybody, welcome to Beehive Live. I'm super excited today to talk about artificial intelligence startups with a good friend of mine, Remi. Remi is the founder of a company called Agent Q. Remi, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So my company called Agent Q, we provide a customer chat platform for companies. So we allow companies to chat with their customers on their sites. And we provide a AI to automate common interactions and to kind of improve the experience.
Interesting. Yeah, that's super cool. So one of the questions that I had for you, and some of the questions that were asked on the Beehive community, was related to just artificial intelligence, kind of at a high level. It's an area that you kind of see almost in the news almost every day. What is it to you guys, and even some of the potential for it? Why are people so excited about it right now?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about artificial intelligence recently. As you mentioned, a lot of the excitement comes around some recent advancements we've had kind of across the board in AI, particularly in some of the processor units, these GPU units that allow us to do much more complex analyses of particularly neural networks, but a number of different technologies in artificial intelligence, which have allowed for some new exciting applications that previously were not possible. And at Agent Q, the way we think about AI is we focus on applications of AI which will deliver a lot of value to clients. So there are applications out there that end up kind of being somewhat of a gimmick or some sort of kind of exciting, cool demonstration of future technology, but not directly applicable. And our focus is on pieces that today can be put into production by clients. And that means, in our case, with chat, helping to automate common chat interactions. We're not trying to automate every single piece right now. We're trying to automate the common ones, remove those. This way, human agents can focus on the more valuable, the pieces that really humans stand out, where computers aren't as efficient.
Interesting. Can you give us a quick kind of end-to-end example of how maybe one of your customers might use your platform and kind of the value they get from your platform and the AI that's
that's a good question. So a client might use us on their site, and so what that would mean is it'd be a little chat widget that would show up generally in the bottom right-hand corner of a web page. And one of our clients, they sell software that actually help companies back up their databases to make sure that in the event of the worst, that everything turns out okay, and that there's a backup version. And so what they do is that the bot sits there and answers questions that are more common. What services do you work with? What's your pricing scheme? How long does it take? What does implementation look like? These types of things. And then when the person's asking more technical questions, can I schedule a demo or do something like that, we can still use the bot there to help schedule a meeting. But then when the questions become a little more advanced, then the human can take over and at that point close the sale.
Got it.
And so what we try to do is allow the human agents to handle the more complex, nuanced situations. For example, I have this bespoke setup, software setup. Does it work with you, with your company? There you probably want a human, but something more common like, what's your pricing structure?
Right.
Or how long does implementation take? That probably makes sense for the bot to answer.
Right.
So we try to help our clients by removing the low-hanging fruit, but keeping their agents focused on the most valuable.
Yeah, and that's really exciting. I think from I guess you guys are operating a lot in the e-commerce vertical and customer support, and now you're providing the ability for people to have personalized service through AI platforms like yourself, whereas before the barrier to provide personalized service 24/7 would have been much more difficult for a company, especially ones that don't have all the resources to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's right. So it used to be the case that companies, if they want to have anything kind of fancy in their chat, they would have to essentially build it all in-house. And what we allow them is for many of our clients, they can get onboarded and do all of the setup without really touching, an actual AI expert. They can just kind of take the dividends of the gains that we provide for them. For our larger clients, we do kind of more hands-on approach.
Right.
But for many of our clients, in fact, the majority of them, we don't have any direct contact with them.
Wow, that's super fascinating. So one of the things that I've been super impressed by, just kind of knowing your company a little bit, is that you're working with a lot of complex technologies. Obviously AI. You're dealing with customers that have relatively high needs, but yet you're I think a 4-person team. How are you able to implement all of these things and use these technologies and still provide the level of service that you do?
Yeah, that's we've been able to have a much bigger impact, I think, than our team size, driven by the fact that we are all kind of focused on different pieces and allow us to cover a much broader spectrum of skills than I think a normal team would. We're a very technically heavy team, and so by having pieces that are able to be taken by someone and kind of brought across the finish line from start to finish, that's really given us a kind of a unique advantage to be able to move very quickly. What's unique oftentimes with these types of technologies is because they are fairly complex, it's actually helpful to have a relatively small team in the sense that understanding how the technology works from start to finish and being able to step in and edit essentially at any point has been very powerful for us.
Interesting.
And if you don't have a good insight into how the whole thing works, if you're just working on one small chunk of a very large puzzle, you aren't able to make these kind of quantum improvements by improving the entire system.
Interesting.
And understanding, an assumption I make here will influence an outcome here.
Yeah.
So there's actually been some hidden benefits in being a relatively small team here.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really interesting point. I mean, I think because you're part of that, I think is because you're a small team, the communication friction is just so much lower. You're 4 people, and somebody can debug kind of end to end. That's really interesting. Now, without getting into too much detail, are there also some certain technologies or frameworks that you've been able to take advantage of that allow you to do everything from the AI, but also create all the mobile surfaces that you have, all the web services that have allowed you to really scale in these dimensions, whereas other companies might not have been able to do so?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we've been using on the front end React, which we've actually really enjoyed. That's given us the ability to have a mobile app, both Android and iPhone, while simultaneously having a web app, all on essentially a single code base. And we've been able to build very quickly with React. We found that the architecture and the components lend themselves to actually very rapid development in a way that is, I think, very powerful. So that's definitely a big piece of it. We've to the extent possible tried to leverage advancements, open source advancements in artificial intelligence and bring those in. So we're not reinventing the wheel, but focusing on the pieces that we think will deliver the most value. So there's definitely a piece of that as well. But I think all of this combined with, like I mentioned before, the communication, ability to edit at any point in the stack, those have all combined, I think, to make
that's super
the outcome
cool.
we've been seeing.
That's super cool and impressive. Real quick, so you have all this great technology, you have this great infrastructure. Kind of what's next for your business, and where are you guys kind of going?
Yeah. Good question. We've got a number of different exciting technologies coming down the pipeline, which we're excited to get out in the hands of our clients. In addition, we have a number of partnership deals that we've been inking, and a number of larger clients that we've been working with, which have started to open some exciting doors.
Nice.
And so a combination of getting the technology we already have in the hands of clients and future clients, plus combined with we have a laundry list of exciting new technologies we'd like to implement. In general, the kind of broad, exciting piece we're working on here is helping our clients better understand who their customers are and allow them to better spend their time on the right people so that they get the right outcomes and they're not wasting their time having either customer service or sales talk to people who might not be the most valuable. And so there's a number of pieces of technology here. You can imagine AI plays a key role in identifying people, but also making the experiences more engaged. So that's how the roadmap is playing out.
Got it. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, it sounds like you're definitely using a new technology paradigm, and you clearly have an offering that's working with people. So it's basically figuring out a way to scale that more, blow it up, both on the technology front and also on the customer service and development front. That's awesome. So I think what people really want to know, you're hiring at this moment. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we're looking to expand the team a bit. So we're always looking for candidates who are kind of a bit like us, who are able to cleave off a big chunk of technology that they may not be super familiar with, but then kind of rapidly get up to speed and be able to own that piece, really willing to get their hands dirty and contribute, both at a high level, but also in a way that's kind of technically involved. So we're always looking for new people. So
awesome.
To the extent the Beehive community is interested, we're very interested to see what people are.
And artificial intelligence, machine learning are some of the most active communities on Beehive, and I think some of the stuff that people are really looking into is how can I apply all of this really awesome stuff that I'm learning? How can I apply it to real world situations? And, I think you definitely are in the top 10, top 3 companies that I think of when you're using this technology and really pushing the bounds to do interesting things, and not just doing it from a pure theoretical point of view, but also creating a product and like customer impact at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So now we got some fun, like lightning round questions. All right. Ready to go?
I'm a little nervous, but I think
a little nervous. All right. Favorite app?
Ooh, so probably Moves, which was acquired by Facebook. It's an app, which tracks your location. I'm a big sucker for the beautifully designed and the high data. It fits both of those. I also like I'm going to answer 2, which is, I know, cheating. Manual, which is this nice app which allows you to control your camera closer to how an SLR would.
Oh, interesting.
So you're able to set aperture and things like that. That's more of like a passion project for me, but I like taking some photos, and it's been a fun app.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 I would say.
Awesome. What's in your fridge besides milk?
Ooh, a lot of things. I actually like to cook. So, it might be a mix of like Brussels sprouts and, sweet potatoes and eggs and I don't know what. But yeah.
Okay, got it. Favorite place to think big?
The shower.
The shower?
Yeah, the shower.
Okay. Nice. Nice. All right. Any parting words for the Beehive community and folks that are interested in artificial intelligence?
I think it's an exciting time. So getting involved is a great idea. And, join Agent Q, but you can also join lots of other companies out there who are doing, very exciting stuff. And learning on Beehive is a great place to kind of really get your feet wet and really start to learn. So wish you luck in all that you're learning.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Remi. I really appreciate your time. I honestly learned a lot about how you guys are thinking about scaling your company and the technologies you use. And I'm sure people can find you on Beehive or Twitter or from wherever else. So
you can check us on agentq.ai. That's our website. And looking forward to seeing everyone on the internet.
Love it. Thank you.